guys, this is Amy with Apex Acres, and thanks for joining me today. Today is, we're going to be doing quite a bit this evening in the garden. Right now I am watering the garden. We haven't had enough water, or haven't had enough rain in the past couple weeks, so I water my garden about every third or fourth day right now. We're also going to be picking green beans, picking butternut squash, and also the last of the ground cherries. The kids today are picking bush beans. We have purple and green in this bed. And this is our fourth picking off of this bed. So let's see them, Gabe. Yeah, they're good sized beans. I think Maddie's in the purples over here. Some greens. Now I have to tell you, this little plant here that I'm watering, I know it looks like it's almost dead, but this tomato is called a Tumbling Tom tomato, and I have three plants in here, and this thing has grown like crazy in this pot. I just keep harvesting tomato after tomato after tomato. Now of course it's at the end of the year. I'll put a picture on there as to what it looked like when I first brought it out here into the garden. But as for now, I know it looks rough, but I even pruned it back once and it bloomed again and just like covered with flowers and then produced a whole new crop for me. So I'm definitely going to grow these again next year. But the cool thing about these, they're actually meant to be grown in pots because they don't get tall. They drape more like an ivy does.
And here you can see that Mario's picking ground cherries. When you pick these, you want to pick the ones that have fell off the plant, and not the ones that are green.
All right, Mario, show me what you got. And what are those?
Ground cherries.
Awesome. Let's take a look. Ground cherries are really cool because it kind of tastes like a cross between, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're kind of pineapple-y. And you peel the husks back like you would on a tomatillo. Try, kind of hard to do it one-handed. And then there's the little cherry. And they're actually really, really delicious. Oh. It's like pineapple-y with a little bit of mango. And if you let them ripen a lot, like they get really ripe, then you'll taste hints of tomato in it. But they're really, really good in like cobblers. They're really good in smoothies that I made a smoothie earlier this week and put them in there, and they were really, really good. It's something you should grow in your garden. And the plants are huge and like crazy prolific. Our plant grew all summer long. It was amazing. All right, guys, so it is now time to cut the butternut squash. And remember, I told you earlier this year I planted 2 seeds, and 2 vines grew off of those seeds. And we have an absolute ton of butternut squash. We'll count them when we get done cutting. I know we aren't going to be able to harvest all of them. Some are still going, but the ones that are on these dead vines, we're definitely going to cut. Now, how do we know when the squash is ready to cut? Maddie, come on in here and we'll show them. Okay guys, remember how I said that right after the rain, well, I planted seeds and then it rained right after? As you can see right here, all my little bok choys came up, shifted over and came up in one spot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick the seedling up and then we're just gonna place it around the round bed so that they have more space to grow. So since they're really young, I'm just gonna take my hand and scoop the dirt out of this area. Their roots aren't long enough yet to really be disturbed. Put dirt back in over here. And then I'm just gonna pick little starts. It would be as if you're starting a bunch of seeds in a seed tray and they all came up together. I'm gonna pick the starts that I want, place them around so that they can have good spacing. Just like that. And then I've got a couple that are real close here, and I'll just slowly kind of take them apart. Put me a good one in the center. Now I'm going to use a knitting needle and I'm just going to poke a little hole in the ground where I want it to go and gently direct those roots down into the ground and replant that little bok choy plant. Hi, Dora. Stay back. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna do another one over here. Poke a little hole and then just gently direct the roots down into the soil. Get back. Now after you have moved your little seedlings around, you want to make sure that you water them in really well, and they should be good and you know, all the way through harvest. They should last in those spaces and not have any problems. Now another thing that we're going to do is we're going to cover all of our brassicas, so kale, cabbage, bok choy that we have planted for the fall. We are going to cover them with a white frost barrier cover. Now really the main reason we're going to do this is to keep off the cabbage moths or cabbage loopers so that they don't lay eggs on the leaves and then their caterpillars eat the plants. This is going to protect our plants so that they can grow without being eaten. So this is how we do that. Roll that we have is a weed and frost blanket, and not only will it be good to keep the bad bugs away, but it also protects against frost when we get down to frosted temperatures. Now this roll is actually double layered, so we're going to unroll it for the length of the bed that we want to cover and then unfold it so it doesn't stay that double layer. We want the sun to be able to come through, and we also want to be able to have the rain go through it as well. Okay, now you can see where I've planted each of the little starts in here. They kind of blend in. They are called Purple Lady Bok Choy. And we've got plenty of space to grow. So hopefully this fall we'll have a good harvest. And that's it. It's just as super simple as that. Now that should protect our little seedlings that are coming up. In about a week or so, I'll check on them again. We're expecting some rain this weekend, so it should be perfect.